Have you ever found a strategy in Commander that you really love, but you can't figure out who you want as your commander? Or maybe there's a color combo that you're really infatuated by, but you just can't seem to choose which commander of these you actually want to use. I've often found it really difficult to actually choose commanders for the decks that I build. Often in the color combo that I choose to build in and the strategy I choose to build in, it's really hard to actually choose a commander. I'm the type that really just falls in love with the combos itself or the strategy itself, and so it becomes really difficult for me to actually choose something I'm going to enjoy. So then this brings up a huge problem, which is which legendary creatures do I actually choose? And how do I choose them? There just seems to be so many commanders to choose from nowadays that it really becomes difficult to actually put a finger on something you want to helm your commander deck. Let's take Golgari Self-Mill as an example. You want to have a strategy that mills yourself out and either gets card advantage from doing so, plays cards from the graveyard, or finds things to reanimate. I just described to you pretty much every single Golgari legendary creature that there is. Now obviously this is a bit of an over-exaggeration, but you know what I'm getting at. So when it comes to a color combo that I really enjoy, but I can't quite find the commander that I want to choose, this is what I do. I make a Legends deck. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this type of content, please feel free to like and subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite Legends commander is. Also, check out the link to my Patreon in the description. At just $1 a month, you get access to my online LGS. It's a Discord server where we play some spell table games, we talk about Magic the Gathering as a whole, and of course, I ask the community for any type of discussion or content they want to see next. I've got plenty of other tiers, so if that interests you, please feel free to check out the link. Deck Driver is also a happy TCG player affiliate. If you guys want to support me, but you don't want to use the Patreon, check out the TCG player link in the description, and the next time you buy stuff off of their website, I get a little kickback. Thank you so much to TCG player, and thank you guys all so much for watching. Now, of course, this might seem like a generic answer, and you'd probably be right. A Legends deck allows me to stick to a strategy and color combo rather than a commander. I have 3 great examples of this exact type of build, and I'll explain why I chose the Legend route rather than the normal commander strategies, how I stayed true to the strategies I actually chose, and how I chose the commander to helm the deck itself. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Jetmir Nexus of Revels deck, Queen Marchesa, and the Maelstrom Wanderer. Each of these decks have been some of my favorites to build and to pilot. Each of them started as decks built around the commander, but of course as more legendary creatures come out and fall into the colors provided by these commanders, the more I just want to add them to the deck. As stated previously, I love color combos and fall more and more in love with them the more I play the game. These 3 commanders I feel truly embody their color combo the most. In addition, these are some of the most powerful commanders the color combo itself has to offer. When taking a look at something like Jetmir, it's easy to see why he's so strong. The colors he has access to have really powerful creature-based synergies that all kind of come together in the Naya color pairing. You have mono white, which gives you stacks pieces and token creation. You have mono red, which allows creatures to get haste and gives you more tokens. And then you have green, which can draw you some cards and of course help you ramp. Then of course you have access to the 3 guilds, Boros, Selesnya, and Gruul. All of these are known for their either insane token generators, their really powerful creatures, or their supportive capabilities. With Queen Marchesa, it's the exact same thing. When you see the queen come to your pod, you know that stuff's about to go down. It's not going to be a fun game. A lot of things are going to get removed. It's going to be a slow grind fest, and some of your creatures might be forced to attack every once in a while. You have access to red, white, and black. All 3 colors, red, white, and black, are amazing at token generation, which is something that we're looking for in Marchesa, as we want most of our creatures to actually be generated by other creatures. This allows us to go wide while not investing into a ton of creatures ourselves. And of course you have something like Orzhov, which is amazing at staxing out your opponents and making them pay their taxes. And then of course you have Rakdos, which is absolutely oppressive in terms of sacrificing, pinging down your opponents, and truly making them pay. I feel like Queen Marchesa really embodies the definition of Mardu, whatever that definition might actually be. She's very powerful, extremely oppressive, and is going to grind out games until you kill me. And lastly, of course, we have Maelstrom Wanderer. Now, when I first aired Maelstrom Wanderer on the channel, it was an extra combats, extra turns sort of combo deck. Well, this is really nice. I saw that the play patterns weren't quite as fun as I was initially hoping it would be. I've also always wanted to have just a very Timmy-esque stompy deck, and Maelstrom Wanderer allowed me to do this. Having a ton of stompy legendary creatures in all three of these colors is actually insane. You're in red-green, so you already know that there's a ton of great creature options available to you, but when you add blue, you can see that there's a ton of Simic commanders that also allow you to hit very, very hard. The access to blue also basically gives your creature-based deck a little bit of counterplay in case you need it. These Legends decks are really some of my favorite to play and some of the most powerful decks I actually own. And the reason for that is because every card you pick has just value on top of value. The great thing about Legends decks is that everywhere you look is a valuable piece to your puzzle that always will accelerate your game plan further. The goal of Legends decks is to provide a broad brush strategy you are wanting to follow. This strategy should be something relevant to the color combo that you're choosing to build within. For Jetmir, I knew Naya likes to go wide and go big. When looking at the options provided, you have access to colors like white, red, and green, Gruul, Boros, and Selesnya. 6 different colors that are all great for going wide and going big. And there are a ton of legendary creatures that allow you to do this. Each of these decks finds a different way to include their legendary creatures. Jetmir being aggressive and fast, Marchesa is controlling and oppressive, and Maelstrom Wanderer is intimidating and explosive. Another thing I love about legendary creature decks is that they have a wide range and flexibility in their budget. Legendary creatures are not uncommon anymore these days. It almost kind of takes away from their legendary status, but because of this, a lot of them are very available to you and can be bought for very, very cheap. Of course, most of them are rares and mythics, so each of them will probably be around $1 to $3 to $4, which when you add it all up could be pretty expensive. Now, if you're going to choose to have some expensive legendary creatures in the deck, I would highly suggest that you try to put them as your commander itself. In my case, Jetmir is actually quite an expensive card, being around $8 for the normal version and around $15 for some of the special arts. So not only is it a commander I enjoy, but also he's quite expensive, and having him in the 99 would be a little bit detrimental to the budget. Jetmir is also a little bit of an exception, as I don't care too much about his budget because he is my most powerful deck. One of the great things about these legendary decks though, and where the true flexibility of budget comes in, is that most of these commanders and legendary creatures have alternate arts. So once you have your budget list, or you have a list that you're solid on, you can start blinging it out with amazing looking art. And although it is cosmetic, I love having the different arts that most other people don't actually own. So now that we've covered why I love legendary creature decks, the flexibility they have in their budgets, and the 3 that I've chosen to have in my normal life, let's talk about how I actually ended up choosing these commanders themselves. When you finally know what strategy you're looking for, and you know the colors you want to fall into, how do you actually choose a commander for your Legends deck? Every creature involved that holds all the available colors should be a good choice for the deck. But you also know that they can't all be the best possible fit for you. The way I chose the commanders I do were from 2 different categories. One is that the creature provided some sort of function or value to the deck itself. Jetmir is a crazy overrun in the command zone. Marchesa is an extreme value piece that offers me both card advantage and token generation. And Maelstrom Wanderer is a huge creature that not only gives haste, but also allows me to get potentially 2 other big creatures out to hit my opponents. Jetmir absolutely could have been Marisi, Breaker of the Coil. It could have been Balin. Jetmir could have been Kit Kanto, Samut, Fabian, but it wasn't. And that's because of this last reason. The last reason that should decide which commander you actually choose for your deck is the fact that you love the creature. I am absolutely in love with Jetmir as a creature. I'm absolutely in love with the flavor that Marchesa brings to a commander game. And I'm absolutely terrified of the concept of something like a Maelstrom Wanderer. The reason I chose these commanders is because I love the commanders. I love everything about them. What they provide to my deck, how it feels to cast them, how it feels to see them just in the command zone. What kind of vibes do I get when I'm playing these commanders? All of these provide me with good vibes, and I really enjoy playing them. Yes, do they provide value? Of course. But any other commander can also provide value. And obviously you want that. But what really brought these commanders over the hump was the fact that I was so interested in them on their own. Jetmir, Marchesa, and Maelstrom Wanderer all do this for me, which is why they are my legendary creature of choice. At the end of the day, you might think that legendary creature decks are a little bit lazy, or maybe they're a bit formulaic, and you might have some merit to that, as they're just legendary creatures in the color combo you're choosing to play in. However, the thing is that something like a Jeskai could be a go wide aggro deck, but it also could be a Spellslinger Legends deck, and it also could be a Stacks type of deck. These color combos are super flexible, and the more colors you end up adding, say like 4 colors and 5 colors, the more flexible they can be. I don't think you guys are ready for the Omnath Locus of All Legends deck. You're not quite ready for something like that. I would say that is the Pandora's box of legendary creature decks. But I digress. I just really love these types of decks, and I hope you guys do too. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank all my patrons now. Thank you to Philly123, Chris Smith, Son of Zygote, Ruby Storm, Raphael DDL, Haeo, Justin, Peachy Star, Zadok, Aaron Fisher, Abrax, and Pedro de Oliveira. Thank you all so much for your continued support, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.